What's going on, guys? Welcome to the very first GoTeamGo podcast. We don't really have a name for this yet.
No, it's our first one, and I'm honestly really excited. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. For those of you that don't know me, I am Kevin.
And I'm Kenneth from GoTeamGo and GoTeam Gaming.
Yes, we do. Nobody knows GoTeam Gaming, but we do have a gaming channel. Well, in all fairness, nobody knows GoTeamGo.
That's true, yeah.
We have 15 subscribers.
We have maybe 2 on gaming. So.
Yeah, well, it's better than 1. But yeah, we are friends. We've known each other for, six?
Since, I want to say sophomore year of high school.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, 6 years isn't a whole lot, but I mean, we're only like 21, so it's, it's a lot to us.
Yeah.
But we've known each other for a while. We started this YouTube channel a year and a half ago.
Yeah, last 2 summers ago. The summer before COVID.
Yeah. And we've just been having fun with it. And we've always wanted to do a podcast, so we figured, why not? Let's give it a shot. So, Kenneth, why don't you give us just an intro about yourself in case people don't know you? Just, what's up with you?
Yeah, well, my internet stardom started on Sky Targeter. That was my... it was like a gaming channel I did, but then when we really started to do videos was in high school. We would have these video projects, things like our history projects, our Spanish projects, and eventually we would just start going all out with them. We would have like full scripts.
A little too all out.
Yeah, we had like narratives going on, recurring characters. And then after high school, we just thought, what if we decided to get into doing videos? We did one series on Sky Targeter. It was called Hey Guys. That was kind of our practice run for becoming YouTubers.
They were all
but
bad.
Then we got together and we're like, okay, what if we went all out, brand new channel, and that's where GoTeamGo came from.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how I got to know you in high school, was because he was the one that we would all ask to do our video projects. He was the only one that knew what he was doing. And then out of high school, I ended up getting a job for a nonprofit, and I was doing video for them. And I was like, are you sure you want me doing video? I don't know video. And they're like, yeah, you'll learn. And I did learn. I spent 2 years at the position, probably a year and a half of that doing video, and kind of had to learn by trial and error and experience. But, I know my stuff now. And, we started doing these videos, and we've kind of been on and off with like the consistency of posting. But like I said, we've always wanted to do a podcast, and we figured, why not? I know you guys have seen some of our friends in the videos. Maybe you guys aren't even here from the videos. Maybe you guys just stumbled on this completely random podcast, which would be super weird. As you guys may have seen, maybe you haven't seen, we've had a few videos. Some were a lot of fun, some weren't fun, some didn't even see the light of day. And our main problem, I would say, when it comes to that is consistency. Mainly in the conceptual idea stages. We have a lot of
the editing stages.
Okay. Sometimes the editing stages, our editor is, this will probably go up sometime in 2023. With my history. But, we usually have trouble getting behind an idea that we all support or all there for, because it's a decent amount of work. Sure, anybody can get a camera and record anything and upload it. But we like to put a bit more effort into it, right? We sometimes will write for our videos, spend a lot of time in post editing, shooting, a lot of planning. We kind of tried the improv stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And we realized
for one video, but
we're not funny enough to just do it and just like, we'll just see what happens. But we've had a few failed videos, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Yeah.
A few.
Why don't we talk about some of them? I don't know if we have the footage, so I don't know if you guys will be seeing any of this. But man, where do we even start?
I think the first one was the Bigfoot video.
Yes.
For that nonprofit we both work for, they wanted to do a series about myths, and so they said, okay, make a really funny video. You guys are teenagers. You know how to make stuff funny. Make a funny video about finding Bigfoot. I think what they wanted us to do was just go out into the community, like say, hey, have you guys heard of Bigfoot? What are some myths around the area? But no, we did a video where we put on costumes, like park ranger costumes. We went out into the woods with a flashlight, and we did this whole like 15-minute video of us like trying to find Bigfoot, doing calls, and then at the very end there's this dramatic sequence where we all run away and like I died, and then
I don't know where that came from.
And so I think our boss saw the video and he was just so confused. He was like, how am I going to use any of this in anything? Because their audience is like, adults, like 20 to 40-year-olds, and they're not.
Yeah, we kind of missed the point on that assignment, I think. But we had a good time, and that's honestly like, I think that's where a lot of like this channel and like, like I've had, and I'm sure you've had like friends ask like, why do we do this? Like, what are you doing? You think you're gonna be like influencer, and that's not the goal, right? Like, I by no means am expecting to reach like a big number of subscribers, but it's just fun. Yeah, it is. It's just so much fun to go out there and just shoot and editing. I mean, I enjoy editing, even though it is tedious. It's a lot of fun,
and then it's so satisfying to see the finished product and to know you made something.
Yeah, and then to look back on it, years down the line and be like, oh, I remember that, so we've only been doing this for a few years. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when we're in like our 30s and 40s, if we make it that far. If we'll have what we'll think when we look back on this stuff and be like, I'm gonna take a bet and say it's not something we're gonna want to show our children.
I was thinking about that.
But we got a lot of time before then. But yeah, another one. So the thing in high school was Kenneth's a simple man. Would you describe yourself that way? Yeah, simple taste. You know what you like.
Not a lot of high tastes.
Yeah, what you like, and that's it. And a lot of people are like that, right?
Yeah.
And we thought, what if we changed one of his little routines? Mainly, well, not really routine, but what if we changed his style? And I think we tried to shoot this video, was it 2 or 3 times? Three. I think we tried 3 times. We were like, let's vlog, let's go to a mall, let's get a budget, and let's get Kenneth a brand new outfit. Let's have him just be studded out.
Did we do this on GoTeamGo? Because we did it twice on Sky Targeter.
Yeah.
And then, did we do a GoTeamGo one?
I don't remember.
I think we were planning one.
Yeah.
And we just realized we've done this twice already. It's never worked the previous 2 times.
It didn't work. We obviously, as the person, one of the people who was shopping for him, I wanted an expanded budget. Kenneth, the one spending the money, did not care for the budget. This was before
we had jobs when we filmed this. So
yeah.
Kind of constrained.
And it just didn't go well. I remember there was a lot of passion that was lost, and by the end of the day we were all just frustrated and we wanted it to be over with.
At the same time, I mean, there were some times when we'd go into stores and security guards wouldn't let us in, and the people who work there were like, hey, you can't film here. I feel like those videos are just harder to make now. Like, even if we wanted to go out and do it, would there even be a way to do it other than we just bring all the clothes to someone's house and try them on?
Yeah, I mean, you see that all the time with YouTubers, at least that I see it quite frequently, like them being told they can't film in stores. And yeah, I think it's so funny to me when I think about kind of the culture around like video and cameras and like how much it's changed over the past 3 decades. Like you think back on like even like as early as like, or as recently as like the early 90s. It was so strange for somebody to have like a personal video camera, and if you went up to somebody, like I've seen videos, there's some that, I think we've watched before where if
you go on YouTube, look up like 1980s high school graduation or like 1970s in like a 7-Eleven. There's videos on YouTube.
And everybody's so friendly. Like, oh, you have a camera? Oh, yes. And maybe people were just friendlier back then, but also it was just like, it wasn't very commonplace. And now, everybody and their mom, anybody can get a camera, anybody can record anything. and you get a lot of people like us trying to record dumb videos, and it pisses people off on occasion. So that is kind of unfortunate that it's changed that way over the years.
Yeah.
But we still try our best. Recently, we had a a driver's ed video, if that's what you want to call it.
I don't know.
What happened with that one?
I think the idea was our friend Lucas has wrecked 3 cars in his driving experience.
Man, we're exposing him right now, aren't we?
Well, I mean, it was in the video.
It's
the
public.
info.
I mean, I actually don't know if it's public info, but
You can look up his records.
he's been in a few incidents, not good ones.
Yeah. And so our idea was, hey, we're going to retrain him on how to drive safely. He's going to sit in the driver's seat. We're on the back seat and the passenger seat. And we're going to be like DMV people with like a little clipboard. But, I mean, there was a bunch of ideas we had. We had some basic ideas. We never actually like developed them. The main idea was the video was that we would do that thing where we're sitting in and watching him drive and giving him instructions. But Lucas, like, he knows how to drive. That's not his problem. His problem is he can't focus when he's driving and he gets distracted very easily. So we would just be sitting there. I'd be like, okay, Lucas, now are you ready to make a U-turn? And he would just make it. And he would just be like, okay, I did that. What's next? Or sometimes like we couldn't even think of how to make something funny. So it would literally just be Lucas driving around the parking lot normally and us watching him. That was the entire content of the driving portion.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And then we had some funny ideas. I mean, we had a driving simulator portion that I thought could be funnier. I don't think Lucas was very excited about it.
No, he wasn't.
I think that was probably our biggest problem. Lucas did not like the idea, maybe.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I mean, it was kind of like poking fun at him. Like, hey, bud, you can't drive.
But he can drive is the problem.
Yeah, Lucas, I don't mean to hurt you. I don't know if you're listening, but you can't. Anyways, let's stop bashing on Lucas. Incredibly mature, very wise.
Lucas is a funny guy. I think he'd be great in videos, but just that video idea wasn't great for Lucas to like kind of strive in.
Yeah, and that's something else that I think I definitely didn't realize until I started, filming, not just behind the camera, but in front of the camera. You have to be all there. You have to bring energy.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a lot, especially on days where you have long shoots or a lot of different things to get through. It's really easy to get worn out. It actually surprised me, how quickly that can happen and how, you're just like, when is this over with? And then as soon as you do that, I mean, the quality of the product just declines very quickly.
Well, I mean, there was that one, and I'm going to bring up our most successful video, the haircut video.
Yes.
And I feel like there wasn't a lot of energy in that video. It was all impromptu. There was hardly any scripting, as far as I know. It was a surprise to me, so I didn't know the planning process.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we cut Kenneth's hair, and he was aware of what we were doing, but a lot of like the little skits and like little bits, he had no idea. He literally just knew he was getting his hair cut by me, who doesn't know how to cut hair.
Yeah.
So
during that video, did you feel the need to bring all that energy or to plan excessively? I don't know. How was that planning process?
Yeah, we didn't plan a whole lot for that video. My kind of idea for that was inspired by another barber video on YouTube, video series, Jeff's Barbershop, which is a little bit more popular than us. Yeah, I pulled a bit from him, and I think the thing with that is like, I don't know. It was from the get-go. It was like just fun, like, wait, like I'm gonna get to cut Kenneth's hair, like I don't know what I'm doing, and we all just kind of had a good time, and it was very like low effort,
Because I feel like we were all in character, in the sense that we all were kind of acting not necessarily completely as ourselves, but as a person or as like a character that we felt we were easy to connect with. Like for me, my character was like the reluctant, I don't trust this guy and want to get my hair cut, but I need to get it cut anyways. And that worked with my humor because, I mean, that's kind of similar to my personality. And so I'm thinking with the driving video, is there something, what would Lucas's character be if we were to make a video about him? Like, what would be his jokes, his quirks, how he would act in a video if we made a character for him that like actually works with his personality.
Yeah. I think there's definitely like a lot more that goes into it, beyond just like having a concept, and that's where we struggle, is the concept a lot of the time. We've had a lot of video ideas. We have a list.
Yeah, we do.
We're not going to show it because it's bad. We have a list of all the video ideas that we've come up with. And they're like 20 to 30 probably.
Can I read the worst one?
Okay.
I'll just read the worst.
I'll leave it up to your judgment. Yeah.
It's got to be between one of these three. Okay. One of them was vlog horror movie.
Oh gosh.
Film a vlog that randomly turns into a horror sequence.
I remember you read that to me a few months ago. I was so lost. You were explaining it to me and I was still lost. I just didn't understand like where that came from, what the point of it was.
Because it's like a twist. It's.
Have you ever seen anything like that? Ever? Maybe there's a reason we haven't seen anything like that ever.
It's
because it's not a good idea.
It's so advanced.
Maybe.
Nobody has ever thought of it.
Okay.
We learn MMA, mixed martial arts, and then fight each other.
I think you were just a little angry, and you were just like, gosh, I really want to just like assault.
I still think that's
like
a good
Andrew
video.
or something, and you're like, this is the way to do it.
Okay, but it's okay. We'll talk about that later. It's a good idea.
Look, there are certain things that I'm good at, and there's certain things I've never tried because I don't think I'm meant for it. Boxing is one of those. I'm just gonna leave that to the the McGregors and the Mayweathers of the world. I don't think I'm cut out for that.
And then the third one is probably Kenneth sucks at dating. Kenneth on a date, narrator describes what he's thinking. I don't remember why that was written down.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have any commentary on that. That was I don't know. I think that was I think there's something there, maybe, that we could somehow play with, like you and your love life. I think that would be humorous.
We just need to develop it more.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like the driving video.
Like the drive, and then not have it like fail like that one did.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, I don't know if we mentioned the driving video we shot. We literally spent like 5 or 6 hours on a single day.
With 3 different angles.
3 angles, a whole bunch of different scenes. And at the end of it, we all looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we're not even going to edit it. Yeah. Like, we're not even going to look at I mean, it didn't come together the way we'd planned.
No.
But, that's the way it works. I think with video, sometimes it just doesn't, unfortunately. And that's why, as I've said a couple times, planning and preparation is huge when it comes to that type of stuff. But Kenneth, let's switch it up. Your family.
Okay.
Who do you live with? Who do you live with, Kenneth?
I live with my mother and father.
Yeah, and I'm probably, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I might be the most frequented guest of your household.
Probably, yeah.
Right. Okay. So I see your mother and your father occasionally too. Very, very sweet people.
Yeah.
Very nice people. But you've shown me on occasion your mom has some interesting quirks that other people, unique to her. That's probably the way to put it.
I think the best way to describe her is that she's a very practical person in that.
And that's a good thing. Practicality is a good thing a lot of the time, right?
She's practical. Like, she knows what she wants, and nothing will stop her from doing it, even if it's the weirdest thing that you've ever seen. For example, she likes chips. She likes Doritos.
Oh gosh.
She doesn't like it when they're salty because too much sodium isn't good for you.
Or like seasoned.
What?
Like, a chip, like a seasoned, like the flavoring. It's like the Dorito, when you get like nacho cheese Dorito, they're orange. And like that's like the seasoning.
I don't think I don't think it's really the seasoning. I think it is the salt, because that's what she always says.
Really?
Like when she eats pretzels, she does this same thing that I'm about to describe to you. But she will get I walked into the kitchen once. She had a bag of Doritos, and then she had an empty jelly bean bar, jelly bean jar that was on her lap. And she would grab a chip from the Doritos bag, use a napkin to scrape all of the salt and like all of the seasoning off and all the color off, and then she would put the chip into the jelly bean jar for later. And she said it was to get rid of the salt. And she's done the same thing with pretzels before, where she gets a pretzel, wipes off the salt, and then saves it in a jar for later. I
mean, she could start a business doing that. I mean, nowadays you have so many people selling whatever they want, and people are buying it for some reason.
And it's a health food.
Yeah.
Low sodium Doritos.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe like Weight Watchers or something could like.
And I think it wasn't necessarily what she was doing, but it was just the sight. Like you just see someone grabbing a Dorito and like scraping it off with like this napkin that already had seasoning all over it because of how many chips she had cleaned.
Yeah.
It was just the weirdest sight that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, like I said, people make money for doing or selling, worse products.
That's true.
Because you're taking Doritos, popular, established, everybody knows Doritos, and you're just modifying it.
Making
and
it
you're
healthier.
giving it the Carson family twist. You could say
it's a home recipe.
Yeah, it's a home. And then, you, in your like 70s, you're going to be a grandfather, and you're going to be like, oh, come here, Charlie.
Let me teach you.
Let me show you how the Gramps does Doritos.
This is how the Carson chips go.
This is the Carson chip.
My mom also loves to save money, particularly also in the kitchen. I think at any given moment, the only food that is in our house is microwavable lunches and dinners from Safeway. Usually they're about like, I want to say $3 a box, $4 a box, very cheap, but also you can tell that it was made in a factory, that it's been frozen for maybe like 2 months. Nobody's cooked it. And you just throw it in the microwave. It's one of those types of like packaged foods. I don't think they're a bad idea, but when that's literally the only thing you eat for your entire life, it can't be healthy.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I think there's varying levels of frozen meals. There's definitely some that you pass by at like Target and you're like, that's made of cardboard, most likely. But then there's other like Lean Cuisine. There's other brands with like, I mean, sure, frozen, but like it's still like it's somewhat healthy. And come on, like, you're on a budget, you're on a time constraint. Like, that's my thing with cooking is sure, I could probably find the time to do it, but it's not worth it for me,
The thing that gets me is that these boxes on them, they have little like, not ads, but they try to make it seem more appealing. Like they will say 100% meat.
Or like sometimes you'll see like, it'll be like, grass-fed beef, and I'm just thinking like, what else would the cow be eating? Maybe I just don't know agriculture, but like I only ever see cows eating grass.
We're from the cities of California, not the countryside. So.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like, well, I would hope it's grass-fed. What else would it be? I
don't think we want to know the answer to that question.
Yeah, or you have like chicken tenders that's like 100% meat. It's like, well,
what else would you put
chicken?
in there?
Yeah. Speaking of which, there was this funny story I heard a few weeks ago. I think you either heard it with me or I told you, but there was a friend of ours had been here, listens to podcasts, all that, and he heard one about the importance of not just grass-fed beef, but stress-free beef. Because apparently, you have these cows and this agriculture, and if you're a little bit on the sensitive side you have a bit of a easy stomach, then maybe you can skip this part. But you have cattle that's killed in these slaughterhouses, and
There's like the conveyor belts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna look up images, but it's pretty graphic. And obviously, the cattle, they're not stupid. They can tell what's about to happen, so they get stressed. So all of the hormones and the chemicals that are released from the brain when you're stressed get into the cattle. Then you kill the cattle, and then you serve the meat, and we eat the meat, and those hormones and those chemicals that come from stress are still in the meat, or something like that. That's the concept. I mean, I probably got one or two things wrong there, but that's the general gist of it. So that's why stress-free beef, stress-free meat is so important. So this guy had a friend who heard the same thing, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself. I know what I'm doing. I guess he had a farm, so he got 2 of those beautiful long-haired cows, the big brown cows that look like clouds. And he was like, I'm going to raise them real well, and I'm going to make sure that they're not stressed when, it's time to put them down. So he gets these cows, and he raises them. I think he had them for probably years. I mean, I don't know how long cows take to grow. I don't know. I'm assuming he had them for a while, and then he finally decided okay, it's time to take care of this. So they're out in the pasture, and and he brings his rifle, right? And he's thinking, quick shot, and they're done, no stress, that's it. And he finds the cows, and he approaches them, and he's getting ready to put them down, and right before he's about to shoot, I think he tripped or something.
Oh,
he
thanks.
fell somehow, accidentally shot the gun, and shoots the cow in the leg. So now this poor creature is bleeding out, more stressed than it could probably possibly be. And the other cow's just looking at this, saying what happened to Jim? The other cow is dying. So
now both cows are stressed out of their minds.
So obviously the cow that was shot ended up being being killed. And the other one, I don't remember what he did, but he had to let it go because there was no point in killing it with the stress, I guess. So I don't know if he brought it back after a while, or he just let it go. But it was all just a waste.
There's probably cow therapy you can get online,
Yeah,
something to relieve the stress.
Yeah, but that was the gist of it. But yeah, sometimes I don't think that we stop to consider what we put in our bodies, and sometimes we don't care. It's I had Taco Bell yesterday. I had Chipotle the day before that. I had McDonald's and Chipotle the day before that. So, but it's quick and easy. And, at our age, we'll be fine. Maybe we won't.
What I've actually started doing, because I do want to eat healthier. I started going to grocery stores because nowadays every single meal, and this is probably different for each state, but in California, every single meal that you get at a restaurant now costs between $10 and $15.
Yeah.
You go to The Habit, you go to Panda Express, anything except McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell.
I mean, fast food, pretty much. Anything except fast food.
Except fast food, everything's $10 to $15, which is ridiculous. That's so much money. And obviously fast food isn't a healthy alternative. So what I've started doing is I go to grocery stores, and I learned that bananas are 59 cents a pound. So you get a full head of bananas, throw that on the scale, it's 2 pounds. That's $1 for 5 bananas. That's 500 calories just for $1. So I've started, I would go to the grocery store, get one of those prepackaged sandwiches, or a little expensive too. They're $5 for a sandwich. But then grab $1's worth of bananas, and you have that's a full lunch right there. $6. You save half the money.
Yeah. Yeah, grocery stores can be cheap.
But it's so hard to find that balance of healthiness, quality, and healthiness, tastiness, and cost.
Yeah.
That trifecta is just so hard to nail down these days.
Yeah. I mean, for me, grocery stores are just so dangerous because I'll go in for I like they make like salad kits. They're like huge bags of lettuce with like a bit of dressing, and then you just make it. You can add some cheese or whatever, and then you have like 2 or 3 salads you can eat over the next few days. Like I'll get those. I'll maybe get like some granola or something. That's what I go in for. And then, I walk past the chip aisle, or I walk past like the Oreos or like the pastries, like the little donut holes, like those little, oh my gosh, shut up, get out of town, so good. And I really can't control myself. So grocery stores can be dangerous for me. And maybe next episode we can talk about like eating healthy. We could work on that, and then that could be like, you guys could be our accountability.
Yeah, maybe even leading up to like a workout video or like a health video.
We have talked about that. Putting Kenneth on like not that you need it, but putting you on like a workout regimen. 5 a.m. I'm a former college athlete, so I'm aware of the rigor and all that. But I think it'd be fun to put one of my friends through it, see how he fares. But yeah, well, I think that's about it. We've had a pretty good lengthy discussion about a whole bunch of random things.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fun for us. I hope everybody listening, regardless of whether it's at home or in the car or wherever it is, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, let us know, if you guys want us to keep doing this. A lot of you guys were asking for this. A lot of you 15 were saying we need a podcast. And we always said, we've telling people for years, once we get to 15 subscribers, we'll do a podcast.
Yeah, 10 out of every 100 comments are asking for a podcast right now. So.
By far. Yeah. By far. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. And we don't really have a schedule or anything for this yet, but we enjoyed it. So I'm sure there'll be another episode. But thanks for listening, guys. Hope you had a good day. And as always, Go Team Go!